Hey everybody, Seth with Everyman Prepping. How's everybody doing on this Sunday afternoon? Hopefully you've had a great weekend and you had time to do some prepping stuff. What did I do this weekend? Well, I did a ton of time of weeding the garden, make sure I'm still getting a high production out of it. Dehydrated some plums for wintertime. And today we water glassed more eggs. I'm getting a very high production of eggs right now in the summer. I'm sure a lot of you are doing as well. And come winter, you might run a little low. So how do you preserve them? Well, the best way to preserve them, I found that is going to keep them basically in the same fresh state that they're in right now is by water glassing. That's where you use just fresh water, not city water, but well water or distilled water and hydrated lime. And, you mix them up, put them in there, airtight seal. If you want me to do a video on it, I can do it. It's super easy, but I've done it 3 times so far just this year, and I'll probably stack up more because, like I said, it gets a little lean in winter. If you have a ton during the summer, don't waste them. Put them away for storage, and you'll be better off this winter. And why do we need to be better off this winter? Well, as you can see from the stories we're going to go through, we've got Israel and Hezbollah kicking off. We've got the craziness of the Olympic opening ceremonies and the meaning behind that debauchery. We've got just a bunch of other stuff in the world happening where as much food as you can preserve right now, the best thing for you. And use this time out. Write down below, what have you been doing this weekend? What have you been doing? What's your priority? What do you need help with? Put down what you can help others with. Whatever, you write it down below in the comments. While you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that great stuff. I appreciate all that great YouTube-y stuff. But I want to talk to you today, besides all that stuff you want to talk about there, is, what happened at the opening ceremony? What was that for the Olympics in Paris? What were they getting at? I just want to show you some of the things so you can kind of see basically how they were attacking Christianity. It's basically what it was. It was a hour-long or so attack on Christianity instead of what it should have been is a celebration of athletes. And we're going to get into some of the Israeli stuff, Hezbollah stuff, stuff about the elections coming up, information, how it's going to be, hidden from people or maybe manipulated. We're going to get into all that. So let's go ahead and get this started here, and we're going to look at some of this opening ceremony craziness. And the Olympic Committee came back and said, no, we weren't really trying to attack Christianity. We wanted to celebrate the community of tolerance. So in their celebration of what they put out of tolerance, they thought it was great to mock and degrade an entire religion. 2-3 billion people follow Christianity, and so they thought their tolerance was to show tolerance in the community was to make fun of, like I said, degrade an entire religion of Christianity. And how they do this? Well, we had a lot of satanic things. You have this headless person here, dressed all in red, and then it switches to flames and fire and red. So we have that. On from that, we have this. We have, I don't know, what does this have to do with sports? Absolutely nothing. Some people will say, oh, there's equestrian sports. Well, that's not it. So we have here's some say it's the 4th horseman of the apocalypse, the pale horse, the horse of death, riding across the Seine. So we have that coming in. And then we have children. A lot of children are using the open ceremonies. A lot of them are with the trans, gay, LGBT community scene that we'll see in a minute. Dancing, this weird scene where the children are on, I don't know if that's the boat crossing the, was that the river into hell, whatever that river is. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of weird children stuff brought in. And then you had this basic debauchery where they were making, this is the Last Supper on the picture below. Everybody knows this, Last Supper, Jesus and everything down here. And they basically mocked it here with every kind of weird trans LGBTQ debauchery thing you can think of, basically. You can see how they compared it, how they try to mimic it exactly. We even got children in here. Very horrific what they did. So this is what the West has come to. When China had the Olympics, they did the history of China. They celebrated, the people of China, they celebrated athletes, all that. But remember in 2012 in London, they had giant, huge skeletons with needles injecting into people. And we know what happened 7 years after that. Well, now we have this. So what are they telling us? Right below what you think they're trying to tell us. But this is just, if you're boycotting the Olympics, I totally understand it. I feel bad for the athletes. But, this is basically an elite display to disparage, to get people against Christianity. It was horrible. And we had some, we have, this was, I think, the last bear going into the stadium. As you can see, that is a person that thinks they're a female, but it really is not. Hopefully YouTube doesn't kill this video by me saying that. This was also on the Last Supper table. They had this weird dude in blue sitting up there. We got this person pretending she's Jesus or anything. I don't know. Like I said, craziness all over. That's about all I want to say before YouTube kicks me off this thing. Anyway, what does Jill think? So Jill's out there saying, that was spectacular. She was a, well, it's going to play again here. Let's start it over here. Jill was basically saying how it was a spectacular display. This was the best opening ceremonies. How should they say this? How are we going to top this? Because the next Olympics are in LA. And she goes in to say, well, we have Hollywood. And we got the movie Magic and all the stuff Hollywood can do. So just get ready for that one if we end up making it that far. But Jill thought it was spectacular. So just to let you know how that's going from there. Who knows where Joe is right now? We don't know where Joe is right now. All right, let's get into the war stuff. Here we got Zelensky says that Kiev will create an action plan to achieve peace by the end of November. Why end of November? Well, the elections are coming. Who's going to be in office? Who knows? Will it be Trump? Will it be Kamala? Will it be someone totally different? I don't think anybody knows right now. I think there's more stuff can happen. But Zelensky's like, hey, we got to kind of solve this before this election. Otherwise, my country might be in trouble. Now, the only way I can see this happening, it says, well, before we get into that, it says here, the U.S. elections will have a significant impact on Ukraine's prospects for peace. Yeah, no kidding. It says that they've already spoken to Trump and Harris. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. But basically, Zelensky here, the only way this thing ends November is basically they give Russia what they want. They say Russia can keep all the territories they have already conquered or occupy. That Zelensky and Ukraine doesn't join NATO. There's no NATO prospects. They disarm, and there's probably a few other things. If they do that, yeah, this war could probably end by November. And of course they give up Crimea and all that. They don't try to go back after that. Probably give up their navy in the Black Sea there. But there's zero chance they'll probably do that. But that's how they can end it in November. Will they do it? I doubt it. Could be a possibility. What do we have here? We have Russia. Putin vows to mirror the measures in response to U.S. missiles in Germany. It says here that after the U.S. earlier this month announced they would start deploying the weapons in 2026. These would be hypersonic missiles that we're still developing because we don't have them yet. Russia has them yet, but it's going to say they're going to station longer range and hypersonic missiles in Germany once we have them, I guess. Now, that's 2026. Do we make it to 2026? Does Germany survive to 2026? I don't know. By mirroring them, you basically, in my mind, he's saying we're going to put them in maybe Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, some of those countries. So look for missiles to end up there. If this happens, just another step further. Why not? All right. Malaysia sends Russia a letter of application to join BRICS. BRICS is expanding. BRICS is growing rapidly. Tons of countries want to join BRICS. They know that's the up-and-coming bloc that's going to basically run the world. That's what's going to happen. Sorry to say, but the G7, the G20, the U.S. hegemony, the U.S. dollar, the euro, it's going to be second to BRICS. Is what's going to happen. And these countries know it. They're lining up to join BRICS. BRICS probably has 3 billion, 4 billion people now, all the BRICS countries added up together. If you add up all 11 countries, they're going to have half the population of the world soon. So, what they do, what they set up with alternative currency and get rid of the SWIFT system, that's going to run the world. And the U.S. is going to have to play that game. It's going to be a hard pill for the U.S. to swallow. They're not going to take it easily. And they're probably going to start a lot of wars to try to stop it. But I don't think, in my opinion, it's not going to help. Now, let's go on to something, a war that's happening right now. Israel, Hezbollah, Lebanon, all that. This is GPS interference going on just a few hours ago as I was filming this. So you can see Israel down here. We got GPS jamming all through a lot of Israel. We have it all over Lebanon. And across, this is Crete over here, the Mediterranean. Tons of GPS jamming. So when does this happen? Well, when you're going to do a giant attack. Is Israel doing this? Is the U.S. doing it for Israel? Is it Russia? I don't know, but something big's going to happen. And if you haven't heard, there was in the Golan Heights, occupied Syria, Lebanon, Israel, the big debacle, who owns what over there. But so it was an Israeli settlement in the Golan Heights that was hit. A soccer field was hit with a rocket. And I think it's 12 children died, 20 or so injured. Largest death of Israel in this entire, since October 7th thing, after that October 7th time frame. Hezbollah says, not us. whoa, we didn't do that. Israel says, yes, you did. The United States says, yes, Hezbollah did. People from Hezbollah, that side, Iran, say, well, it was one of your Iron Dome interceptor missiles that fell and did that. Either way, it doesn't matter. It coincidentally or ironically or helpfully for Israel, gives them the right to go hit them hard. It'll probably happen tonight or the next night. They're going to go into Hezbollah and really light it up. You remember what they did to Yemen after Yemen got a drone in Tel Aviv, killed one person. Well, this was 11 or 12 children, so they're probably going to light it apart. This gives Israel their go-ahead that they've been looking for to expand the war and really go hard and go fast. So was it one of those events that are planned by a certain state to get the results they wanted, which you can't say the term on here because then there's AI and YouTube knows and your video dies. So it's dumb I have to talk this way, but is it one of those planned events that a state uses to get the way they want? And so that they get the results and they can do this attack on Hezbollah now. Was it really Hezbollah? Doesn't make sense. Hezbollah has been attacking northern Israel, but they've been going after mainly almost 100% military targets, Iron Dome targets, military sites, that ones. They really haven't gone after civilian attacks. And this was just a random soccer field that got taken out. So I have my questions on it. It's very coincidental that this is what Israel needed to go to war, and they kind of got it. So we shall see what happens. Going on with that, we see a lot of flights out of Beirut's airport have been canceled. I don't believe anybody's flying right now. A lot of countries are telling to get their citizens out. There's like Saudi Arabia and Germany and Norway and a bunch of other countries have called for their, if you're a citizen but you're living in Lebanon, you better get out. That's been called for, so we shall see what happens with that. And just to spice it up a little more, we have the NATO member Turkey, Erdogan. He hints at invading Israel. So Turkey could one day just enter Israel just like it did with Karabakh, I don't know what that is, and Libya. So Turkey, like I said, NATO member. We have United States has nuclear weapons in Turkey. Is basically your wild card in Turkey. I think they'll leave NATO at one point and join Russia. I've been saying that for over a year. I think they'll do it. I don't trust Turkey. And they're showing it here by saying, hey, we're just going to invade Israel because of what they've been doing. And who knows? The world is crazy enough. They might try it. So just keep advised of that. And then let's move on away from wars and all that stuff into information age, technology. You're looking for information. Who do you ask? Is it reliable? Is it faked? Are you being guided a certain way? I think that as we get more close to the election, all that's going to happen because all those mainstream media and companies that own YouTube here, and they have a huge search engine, how they guide people and the information they put out. This is Meta. So you got to be careful which AI you trust, right? Can you trust any of them? I don't know. But it says here that someone asked Meta AI, tell me about the assassination attempt of Trump. And the AI says, I can't assist with that. I don't have any access to that up-to-date information. Can I help you with anything else? And they say, well, what about Kamala Harris's 2024 campaign? And then starts spewing out information from just last week about Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. So it has current information on that, but not on Donald Trump. So you can see what I'm going for. And to prove that even further, we'll go to this search engine, which you can see here, but shall remain nameless on my voice, so you can actually watch this video. But if you go to that certain search engine and you type in assassination, let's spell it right, attempt on, look what comes up. What's the most recent assassination attempt? We had one, I don't know, Trump. You think we'd have Trump here? No, we got Truman, President Truman, Reagan, Lenin, Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Andrew Johnson, FDR, John Paul II. Trump's missing. I can't even put T. Maybe it'll suggest something with Trump now. Nope, just Truman, Teddy Roosevelt, and the Pope. TR, we just get Truman, U, M. Oh, assassination attempt on Trump. No suggested things to type in or anything. Yes, it'll pop up if I hit this button here. Yeah, now we get some stuff, right? But you see it's from NPR, ABC, whatever. I'm just want you to see that when you start searching for information, you use certain sites, and I don't know what site you want to say is better or worse. I'll use Start Page, but certain places are going to guide the people one way or the other. Is that election interference? Is that campaign interference? I'll let you decide that, but I think you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. that going forward here, as it's been for a while, but double check your sources. Don't trust anything. Double check everything. Look for a third party. Look for, I would say, a non-mainstream sources. That's almost the best news that I get these days. It's avoid all the mainstream and go to little guys, to little sources. To I get a lot from X. X has been one of the great news sources because you can get both conservative, liberal, small, from the countries themselves, from the people, independent journalists, and you can get stuff there you won't find anywhere else. So that's where I find a lot of stuff. But you go where you need to go, where you think. But just question everything that you see or hear, especially with AI out there. Ask yourself, could this really be possible? Even if it's something that favors your side, favors your opinion, is that really what happened? You got to think about that as well. It's just not things that you don't believe in. It could be things you do believe in or follow. So that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you got something out of this. Like I said, keep prepping forward because all that stuff I just showed you, we're 5 months from that election or so. It's going to ramp up. 5 months, let's see. August, September, October, November. Oh yeah, 4 months or so. Less than 4 months. So it's going to come fast. So these wars are going to come fast. Anything else? We have the sun popping off right now. I didn't talk about that, but we got 3 CMEs coming. I'll have to do another video on that, but there's some CMEs coming. It won't be like the ones in May, but it's still solar maximum. And well, I don't know. Would it be that bad of a thing if we did get a giant X30 solar flare CME, take out some electronics and kind of give us a reboot, kind of let people get off screens, get off electricity, and just get back to community and the home and the family? I think about that a lot. What do you guys think? I don't know. Like I said, hopefully you got something out of this. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.